entering week number 6 of our My Best Me project, and what we're trying to do is change the lives of a lot of folks throughout the Tennessee Valley area. You may not be actively involved in the program, but you can certainly benefit from it. We're going to introduce you now to some of the folks on Team Transformers. So guys, we have Jamie, Jody, and Dr. Doug Stithen. Good morning to you all.
Good
All right, we're going to start with you down there, Doctor. As a medical professional, what's been the biggest challenge in helping these folks begin their complete transformation?
Well, I think it's very easiest for us to spot the problems that we're having or some of the obstacles that might be in the way, but it's getting that education over to the patient. You know, it's like, hey, let's set some goals.
Sure.
And what are some things that we need to do in order to reach those goals? You
And
know?
the goals have to be realistic.
Oh, you can't hit a fuzzy target. That's why we set them. But I mean, it's definitely
Right.
You know, it's what's most important for him.
All right, Jamie, what motivated you to take part in this?
I was just getting into a situation where the weight just kept adding up, adding up.
Right.
I was like, it's time for me to do something about it.
What's been the biggest challenge for you in this so far?
Getting into all the habits of doing everything, like the eating, the going to the gym for every appointment, and
Sure.
just basically just changing everything. So
And I got to tell you, you know, in a program like this, you got to work a full-time job to pay the bills. Sometimes going to the gym is one of these things that you can say, well, I'll do that tomorrow. And a lot of times, like the old song goes, tomorrow never comes. How do you keep them coming back, and how do you get that motivational carrot continually to where they're anxious to come back?
They already know, all right, when they come in the door, I already know that they need change. If you do what you have done, you'll look how you have looked. So your regiment in day-to-day has to change. You got to burn more than you're taking in.
Right.
It does matter what you're eating, but you know, people will come to me talking about, well, I'm eating this organic ingredient and this. But when it comes down to it, they're still eating, 600 calories in that meal.
Right.
So just understanding you have to stay in the guidelines. If you can keep your calories under 400 calories per meal, you can't go wrong. You're going to win.
And doing a lot of these exercises in the gym, and those that you've shared with us here, involve one of these things. So this is 8 pounds, which is roughly a gallon of milk. Gallon of milk weighs about 8 pounds. I've seen you toss this around like it's a ping pong ball.
Of course, yeah.
And I've seen, Jamie, your improvement in tossing this thing around like a ping pong ball as well. Ping pong ball, rather. What is the best part to you when you get in the gym and it's just you and your trainers? What do you go for the most? What's burning inside you?
pretty much just my overall goal in completing it.
And what is your goal? How much do you want to lose?
I was looking at originally 93, but 100 would work for me as well.
And how much have you lost so far?
What is it,
Roughly.
16 to 20.
16,
Wow.
17 on their scales. On our scales at the gym, it's like 21 pounds.
All right, doctor, a lot of people, when they're going through this process of trying to lose weight, they tend to forget that muscle weighs more than fat. And sometimes folks get a little discouraged. I've only lost 10 pounds. But you've replaced a lot of that weight with muscle mass. Explain about that a little bit.
You've got to be aware of sometimes the scale can be a liar, you know,
Right.
as far as health goes.
Sure.
I would go more off of how are my clothes fitting? You know, is that waistline a little bit looser, or can I squeeze into those high school jeans?
Exactly.
You know, we definitely want to drop some pounds, but if he's not losing 100 pounds, but he has converted a great amount of that body fat over to muscle, that's
Sure.
a win. You know, it's going to show in him.
All right, want to ask all three of you the same question, but we've only got a minute or so to answer it. What would you tell someone who maybe doesn't have the courage to get out and do this in public like you and a lot of others have done? What would you tell them to get them motivated and get
Get out
going?
of your comfort zone. If you're comfortable, you won't change. It doesn't require a lot of crazy movements, no tools. You can just do body weight.
Right.
You know, remember, when your body's in repetition, it's out of its comfort zone.
Sure.
Once the heart rate elevates, you're already out of that risk.
All right.
So,
Jamie, same question for you. What would you tell somebody to get them started and get them motivated?
It's really not as bad as you think it is. Once you get there and you start doing it, it's really not that bad.
All right, Dr. Doug, same question for you. What would you tell someone to get them going?
You're only competing with yourself. don't compete with other people. You know, just be better than you were yesterday.
Lessons well learned, not only for this program, that will carry you forth from here on out. So, gentlemen, good to see you. I'm not sure who I'm going to throw this to. I'm not going to throw it. I'm just going to hand it carefully over to Jody Sullins. Now, let me tell you, here's how you can get involved and follow along. You can do it through a number of areas on all of our social media platforms. Start with WDEF.com. Jamie, best of luck. Keep going. You know, the holidays are upon us.
Yes, they are.
It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Dr. Doug, and you as well. Hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas season.
Thanks for having us.
We'll see you back here in just a moment. Stay with us.